Hello everyone, a little different kind of start to this video because I actually have done a lot of off-camera work that I wanted to show you first before we actually start making the plaza for today's video. And yeah, I have some plans for that, but before we can start, you'll see that there has been some major updates to this park in general, and that's because I did some off-screen work. It could be its own episode on itself, but I was like, this off-screen work, nobody will actually watch this. So just to clear it up, we will start here at the road I made. It's a little road with a gutter and sidewalk, and yeah, I might need to add like a little crossroad, but I need to see how I'm going to do it with everything I put already. Oh, actually, a little easy, I think. And then we enter the ticket booth area, or plaza, the entrance plaza. I have made some benches, some trash cans with the logo on the park on it, and like some lanterns. And yeah, as you can see, we have I made a logo for this park. Park is going to be called Seaside Park, and this will be a little bit of the logo. And I think it looks kind of nice. You can find it back everywhere, maybe a little bit too much, but I don't have anything else to show. And so those banners will most likely be changed when the park has summer nights. So yeah, then if we look a little bit further, I also added some interior detail for these cash registers here. Now they can sit, and I also made the windows a little bit lower, so the height of the desk would be in comparison to this little table thingy thing. And then as next thing, I actually made a light in the lighthouse. I'm not satisfied with it, but as most lights, I find the lighthouse lights in the lighthouse actually a little bit ugly. But I tried to make my best out of it, and it is animated. So if we put it on dynamic dot, I don't think it will be visible right now. No, the sun is there. But once 70% of the day has passed, the light will start rotating till it is day again. And that was a clip quite a little bit to figure out. I needed to time how long the day was been, and then I needed to repeat like every little light that's in there and over again till it had made its full revolution. And we reached the time it took to be day night again. And then one of the last things I did before we actually can start the speed build is I made a little queue for the monorail, and it actually fits. So if we put it on closed and we let the train spawn back in, you see you can just walk in here, and then the monorail will do its little path. So yeah, this is actually everything I did off screen. So yeah, we just look that like 70% of the day has passed, and then the light in the lighthouse starts to rotate. Not the best, but it is something. So as you can see, all the lighting comes on once it is night. So that's everything, and I see you guys back in the next real-time part once we build the plaza. Hello everyone, and welcome to this new Theme Park Tycoon 2 video. It's been a while since I actually have opened my editing software, and you might also have seen it by the amount I was active on this platform. And it had some reasons, because when it all started, we were in the planning phase of the EP trip, or not many people may know the short, but EP stands for Europa Park. And we were really discussing how many people and where are we going to stay and all that stuff, and it was just one big stress and one big mess. Now, besides that, school was also asking stuff, because at that point I got a task, and that task was really long, and I needed to finish it because it was 80 points, and that really comes true when you have not that many big tasks. I mean, I have 3 now. It's very, very, very much. And I'm trying to get everything in as fast as possible. Like, as you saw, the deadline for one of the tasks was yesterday, and as you saw, I also uploaded a video yesterday, and it was just basically that task. It was actually making a 3D model of something, and it just needed to have some features. So you saw it in the video or in the little animation I uploaded. You didn't really see anything behind the task. Many people were like, what is this? It's so random. But it was actually just because it was neat for a task. I needed to upload it to a YouTube channel, and I was like, why not show it to you guys? Because it's just something I did for school, and I wanted to share with you what I made, because it was rollercoaster related, because I was like, that implemented most of the features, and actually it implemented all of the features that were needed. So thank you, I guess. But yeah, coming back. This episode was recorded like a while after the second one came out, and also because of that, but also I needed to find some time. And I actually missed quite a lot in this community I saw, because I was like taking a little break, and then Nox got cancelled. I was playing Rainbow Six Siege with some friends, and Zombie joined the call, and he was like, or not joined the call, but called me, and he said, do you know why Nox's server is gone? And I was like, I don't know anything. So I sent it Nox, and Nox didn't reply, and then the whole situation got explained to me by Thyman, not 088, but a friend of mine who's also called Thyman. You may have seen him in calls, and yeah, I was like, but Nox wouldn't do such a thing, and to the moment I still don't know how to react to. And then Volsvedheim made his video about the whole incident, and it also let me see behind the thing what he was doing, and I was like, why would he do such a thing? And then came as apology video, and for the people who not have seen it, it is on a different channel, because his main channel got taken down by YouTube, and he apologized to me and like 30 other people. It was a very long apology line. Now, not many people have forgiven him. If you look at the comment section, it is still a little bit of a, like, I don't know what to call it, but people need to see the whole side of the story or so, I don't know. But I don't know what to think about this. I needed some time to think. I still haven't processed this fully, because Nox, I was actually quite frequently chatting with him, so I don't know what to say about it. But yeah, that also all happened while I was just doing that task, and that also, let's see how active the community actually is. You also may see Nox appear in this video also, because he was here while I was making this anchor, or it was a little bit later. I don't know if he's actually in it or not. But this was actually a little thought of mine. Now coming back to the real video, I wanted to have a centerpiece on the plaza, and I wanted the centerpiece to be an anchor, and I think I did quite well with the anchor. It's not as smooth, but I actually like it. So just to give a little bit of insight on what we're going to do after this video, just with a little bit of with a little bit of catching up that we had to do. In this video, I will be making the entrance plaza with a centerpiece, and as you see, the centerpiece is an anchor. Why? Because the anchor, I wanted this centerpiece that would fit in a theme, and the theme at this point is a lighthouse for guidance and all that symbolic stuff behind it, because a lighthouse can have many different meanings. It was just actually accidentally chosen for an entrance design, but now looking back at it, it is actually a very big choice, because with a lighthouse you can do very much. You can go in a fantasy theme, you can just go in coastal theme, you can go in a world theme. It's just very broad entrance design, because you don't need to look at what you want the rest of the park to be, because I started this park with a blank idea in my head. It was just really blank. I didn't know that I wanted to have an entrance in the style of kegacy, like his design layout a little bit, but more like with my touch in it. So I looked at kegacy's entrance and I saw the floor plan he had, and then I was thinking on what can I do with something like that, and I ended up choosing a lighthouse. So yeah, there's a little bit of thought behind the choice of why I wanted entrance hour to be like this. Yeah. And as you can see right now, we're just doing the pathing. I still don't know what I want to do, because I was actually planning on making a B&M hyper coaster behind the little archway, but looking back at that, I don't know if I want it anymore, because it's such a big ride at the entrance of the park, and I think I need to think a little bit further ahead at this point. So I actually had recorded the episode. I spent like 6 hours on the hypercoaster itself, and I am still not satisfied with it. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do now, but I'm just putting this idea a little bit aside, and I will be going for a Vekoma Family launch coaster in the style of Megalodon in Wallaby, Belgium, because it also has a little bit of theme. It won't be a full recreation, it's just inspired by it. Maybe I'll also go with like the dog zone, because I actually like it, and I can't wait to ride this coaster this summer. Although it might open really soon, but there is no opening day yet. Also, at the point of recording, like I said, I'm recording this on Sunday the 23rd of March. Also, the Joy POV came out. And I was like doubting should I watch it or not, because I don't want spoilers, but I eventually watched it because there is no theming to go with it. It's just an arm seizing a rail on a plot of sand. And just going to Wallaby Holland with this. Wallaby Holland isn't going off their Six Flags thing they had. Wallaby Belgium is much better in that. And with that in mind, it's just I have a feeling that Wallaby Holland isn't actually planning on doing it in the future, and that will also give a little bit of choice if Six Flags ever wants to come back in and Wallaby Holland is in a bit of debt. They can just purchase the lot, and we wouldn't need to change anything besides maybe just redecorating it to like some of their IPs. So I don't know what they want to do with that in the future. Anyways, as you see here, I am currently making a little house, and it might look a little bit like a Scandinavian type of house, but it's actually meant as a beach storage house. And what I mean with that is, if you ever went to the beach, you have like those cottages in the back, and most of the people just put their stuff in there, and they don't need to constantly bring it with them in the summer once the weather is becoming good. And that was actually the idea for this. I wanted to do it a little bit different, but I decided not to do, because the space that I had was actually not that much. So I went with this, and I actually think it turned out really well. Now, with the dike, or I don't know how to call it in English, I still don't know what to do with it. I might just put some nature up there, add some new houses. But when I went to look at the MB size, or the file size I had left over, I was at 0.4 MB already, and I was like, that's so much for like what I have built. But I will continue on with like the level of detail I have. Once we reach the file size, I was like, okay, then it's just it's the ending of the series. I don't really care that much about it. So yeah, that was actually the plan of what I want to do once I reach the file size. And yeah, I don't know what your guys' opinion is on this, but yeah. As you can see, a little in different colors, because it's also the thing. I wanted to have a colorful plaza, and this is a little bit of the way to do it, because otherwise it would be a sand-ish bottom ground structure. Now, what you're also doing me now is like a little bit modernizing the entrance area, getting you a little bit out of the theme, because I want to actually make my park as realistic as possible. And to actually make it realistic as possible, you need to think of wheelchairs users. I want to have my park actually wheelchair accessible, and if wheelchair users want to use the monorail, for instance, they can actually do it, because they need to climb stairs. So I decided to build an elevator, and this is the elevator. So yeah, that's just a little bit the thought behind of it. So yeah, it's a little build I had in mind. It was based on an idea I had, and I think it actually turned out really well. Now, it won't work because there are no working elevators in this game. There was like one way you can do it with the observation tower, but that doesn't work quite as well, because the observation tower is fairly big, and you would see it coming through the toilets, which I actually hadn't thought of until I started when I was actually eventually finished. Well, not finished, but once I actually thinking of it, I need to have toilets. I was like, okay, now I need to implement toilets somewhere, and you'll see in the end of the video where I did it. So that, and I don't have actually wheelchair accessible toilets, and I don't know how to do it, because I might get a little bigger one, but I don't know. I'll need to see in the future. Anyways, also a little bit of realism, just making the little cable system to actually make this whole elevator work. And for that I needed to look at some reference image, and yeah, the reference image showed me to do actually it's actually quite simple, because it's just a guide rail just for the elevator to follow a rail, and then a little like lever, or like a trolley mechanism to actually have the motor be beneath, so the elevator would actually look fairly clean from above. So I won't make the engine area, because there would be like lots of work and lots of details. So yeah, for the rest I actually forgot what I also built it in here, like for now a little button. Oh yeah, for the rest I planted some greenery around the anchor statue, and added some benches and trash cans everywhere. That's still a nightmare to do, because most of them are beyond the item limits if you put them on normal grid, so it needs to be off grid. And yeah, it's a small problem which I don't really care that much about. So yeah, as you can see, also adding some bit of soil underneath the statue, because why don't you have greenery there, and then planting some bushes around it and recoloring them in different kind of colors, just to have like a little bit more of colors on this entrance plaza. And that's just basically it for this video. Now I want to say I am actually very sorry if the next video would take a little bit longer to come out, but I'm actually planning to making the Theme Park Tycoon 2 College series as well, to teach you about the amount of features the Theme Park Tycoon 2 actually have. And with that, I actually want to end this time lapse, and I'll see you guys again in the real-time part. Welcome back to the real-time part. In this last bit of the video, I am just going to show you what we have made this episode, so you also know what has been added, and like some little things I added like a few minutes after just creating it. So to start with, when you enter the park, you'll see the main centerpiece of the entry plaza, and this the anchor, and this anchor is just a little bit of decoration. It's just like I knew what I wanted here. It's a little bit simple, and I like it. As you can see, also a little bit of foliage around it, and then some benches and trash cans. Then we come to this. My main intention was to make this restrooms, so it was just because I had loads of space under here, and I wanted to use that space and I also just figured out that I didn't have any restrooms here, so this is the place I'm just going to put them. And it now is also like a little bit more colorful instead of a one-tone grayish wall. Then we also have an elevator. This was intended to be a push button, but because the push button in the theme park is so big, I just decided to make my own little push button. And then just an elevator for the people who are in wheelchairs or are not able to climb the stairs. We have like a little elevator, and then they can just enter here into the monorail and also exit. So it's just for helping people out. And then just the last bit, basically this episode wasn't really filled with anything big. It's just a little bit of a smaller episode, and it's just because I literally couldn't do anything else. I would have if this was included, but then the video would be 40 minutes, and I am not planning on making it that long. So just for the last little bit of this video, also a little bit of a wall that's facing the water. I still don't know how big I'm going to make this lake. Probably not that big. I'm like thinking of doing it like this, and then I want a big coaster here, and then I also have a coaster in mind for here, and you will see that in the next episode, and it may already be a very big one, and this may be a little bit too much of a giveaway for next episode, but I don't care at this point. So the only thing I still need to figure out is how I'm going to make the station, but that probably isn't for episode 4. It will probably be for episode 5. So I still have some time, because in episode 4 we will mostly be creating the coaster and the supports, because that's going to be a lot of time. So anyways, I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Later.